Into the Sun. I have not gone through this project in feels like 10 years or so. You can clock me, maybe it's 9, but it's been a long time. This is certainly one of my favorite songs I've ever made. I don't really know too much about, music theory or whatnot, but I just love the kind of general sadness mixed with the beauty. And definitely it's kind of written about thoughts of kind of passing on into the next life or something. So I'm going to do a little walkthrough here, and I'm not too sure exactly how it will turn out. So let's just start it, move that loop guy, and there we go. That little gorgeous melody started off with that thing. Love this reverse beat. This might sound familiar to you from like Ellie Goulding Lights remix or whatever, but one of my favorite things to do is take a Reese with the filter down low and kind of sweep it up as like little tinkling bells and beeps are playing. So the bass stack in here is pretty ridiculous. We got sub, and that wide top is made up of several Reeses. And that guy. Obviously, I'm not playing the drums yet, they're here. So yeah, we got sub. This little stack of supporting arps. And I guess we're at the breakdown now. So we've got this synth here. I'm gonna come back to that one. Plenty of beeps. After I made the various beeps, I turned a lot of them into reverse so that they kind of like swell in and out of each other. Bass is at full fucking open right now. One of the tricks to a high impact drop is filtering out or reducing the frequencies right before the impact, because everything's as loud as it can be, and then you don't really have any more room to turn up, so you kind of trick the ears by thinning it out right before the impact. Fucking die at that drop. Fucking die at that drop. I don't think that this guy is supposed to be playing there, or I gotta filter it out or something, but. And it ends with a big bass dive and back to the little intro melodies. So I'll try and break this track down. It definitely started with this sound. Oop, where are we at? Sorry, with this sound. And I wanted to go into that patch basically because the patch is nothing. It's all about this guitar rig. And I couldn't get guitar rig loaded onto this computer for some frickin' reason. But you could hear the lead here. It's basically kind of just making like a harmonic guitar sound. Here, check it out. I'll unfreeze it. And so this is basically without the guitar rig. Sounds pretty ridiculous. So that all that kind of like saturation and sparkle and shit is coming from, there's actually two guitar rigs on here. The other one's yeah, right here. Anyways, and so the same thing happened over here on this synth. Oh, I love this. Those fades I kind of do for everything, vocals and leads. You basically just take like a note, I'm not sure which one it was. Whatever it is, you slap like a reverb on it. Let's see. So this isn't the note here, but and then you kind of set your left and right locators and you render it out, and then you flip it and reverse it, and so you kind of have different notes of different melodies kind of like playing into each other. I'll turn that off for now. Go back to the intro. So there was this kind of dorky stock patch, which I honestly use a lot to write, where it's basically just a little dink 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 with no reverb or echo, kind of toy piano style. So it's like just open it, and then once you have the MIDI here, kind of run it into anything. So it's going into all different kinds of like roads and contacts and whatever. So you could, oh yeah, and then I kind of ended up reinforcing it slice by slice here. So that was just like grabbing, you know, whatever slices I wanted to play and then kind of filtering it out by hand. Obviously, you would never want that to be too audible, but it just kind of backs up the melody since there's so much verb on this. So altogether it's kind of like, oh, I love those backwards loops, just stacking different shit in reverse. I was talking about that Reese, the kind of like classic intro bass for a lot of my melodic tracks. So essentially what it is actually several different kind of stacks of bass lines, or, you know, heavy low octave synths, and this one together and that sub. So all together it's like this, and then using the filter, you can kind of just like pull it down. So if you wanted to start it off kind of just like deep and rolling. Sub, I think, yeah, is ducked pretty heavily from the kick and snare. You can see the pressure kind of popping in here. and this guy as well. And that's why it's kind of doing that pulse. Da, 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 da. This one was fun. Essentially, it's this massive patch. And then after I just did some cuts of it, some exports, I started kind of chopping it up and ended up getting this where it's well, not every syllable, but most syllables by hand, kind of scooting them around so the timing's really tight, because it's not meant to really be heard. It's meant to just kind of reinforce the so altogether you only hear it like this. So I was mentioning, I don't know if that's actually in the final version there. That sounds like a mistake. So I rendered out the stack of drum loops that's playing the reverse shit so that it's kind of just on one track. And that's just too much low end. So I'm gonna, one thing I could do that's really simple, of course, is just EQ it out. So it's just like, but what I'd like to do instead, at least so it could play along with the drums, it might not really work with the bass, is just take a splitter and some duckers, and then I'll turn the splitter on, and essentially you pick the frequency that you want to kind of cut or split the frequency, the signal. So you have it like just these highs. And then this is the other side of it. So that's about what I would want to have ducked from the kick and the snare. So I'm going to turn the side chain on, go up and find the kick main, make sure it's set to FF1. This is the old Live 8 compressor, tacked down pretty solid. That's a solid release. And then I just really want it to go away when the kick strikes. And same, I'll just duplicate it and grab it from the snare. It would be kind of stupid to do this from the sub, just since it's so steady. But now every time the kick and the snare strike, they will knock out the frequency that's just in this splitter here. But not to the highs. And so you can hear it with the drums now. And you can change the split a bit. It sounds way better. So without that, it's just too much lows. If that's all I had going on in the song, that would be great. But with all of the sub, there's no room for that. Oh, one other thing, I oftentimes have to like break my sessions up into smaller sessions just to focus on one small detail, and this is a good example here. So what I did before I pulled all of this out, you can tell everything's kind of cut out. All the different tracks are either deactivated or deleted or whatever. I recorded it through the master bus, but probably turned down to get headroom and whatnot. I brought it into a different session. After I processed it, I went and removed all this stuff that basically creates the space, and then I added in the little fill. So for the drums, they just go, and then the bass goes like this. And that's taking, oh yeah, that's right. So I did it piece by piece. So kind of solo, just the drums. Don't think I ended up using the drums. Soloed the bass. And then this is take one, and you can watch the filter. Oh, there's a better filter on there, I think. But anyways, so this guy goes like this, as this guy goes like this. And that all, oh yeah, and then there's a little melody tweak, I think. Yeah, this guy. So by itself, it all sounds pretty wimpy, but and went ahead and found that session. So this is just the track. And then I brought in the melodies, which might not play. Oh yeah, but okay. Made some renders of it, ended up with this guy, and then it's just a little. And you can see there's like, it's kind of changing, going from 16th to 32nd slices. And this felt like you could go the distance with this thing. Oh yeah, there's some, I think, clip automation in here. So you just go to the envelopes, go to the clip. You can change, obviously, like pitch or whatnot, but this is just making it duck down into that little pattern. But I don't know, I was just thinking about how this guy, so I just want to fuck around real quick. Oftentimes I will just randomly do this with little bits that I find if they have a good sound quality. And so I'll be like, it's a lot easier if I have a drum beat in here. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that, and I'm gonna save a little copy over there. I'm gonna set a loop, and let's see, I'll end that there, and then I'm gonna hit copy and pasta, and then same kind of thing. I'll actually undo that and just copy that guy, boom, boom. And then copy and paste. I think there's a drum kit in here somewhere. Yeah. So I'll just take that. Well, yeah, let's pull the beat over. I don't know. So what is this guy doing here? Okay, let's take that bit. I'm gonna get rid of those little dorky situations, or I mean, another thing I could, let me see, a lot of this is just experimenting. So Sorry about that big swell sound. That's from my Kick 2 plugin making that dumb shit. So I'm gonna just hit reverse. I don't know. And maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe I'm just getting sidetracked, blatantly getting sidetracked.